Look, they're out there. Load it up. They ran out there. Who's that? They've got masks on.
The end came with an assault on the building by the Army's Special Air Services Regiment, the SAS, not long after gunmen had killed 2 hostages and pushed the body of one out onto the embassy steps.
In what would go down as one of the most defining moments in modern special operations history, the Iranian Embassy siege in London, 1980, was not just a pivotal terrorist standoff, it was the explosive entrance of the SAS into the global spotlight. Operation Nimrod didn't just end the siege in thunderous fashion, it changed counterterrorism forever. What began as a tense diplomatic hostage crisis transformed into a live televised show of elite military force. And by the time the smoke cleared, the SAS had become a name known in every corner of the world. But this wasn't just a rescue mission, it was a message to terrorists, to governments, and to anyone who dared question what Britain's Special Air Service was truly capable of. April 30th, 1980. 6 heavily armed Iranian terrorists stormed the Iranian Embassy in South Kensington, London. Within minutes, they seized 26 hostages, staff members, civilians, and British nationals. Their demands: recognition of Arabistan independence, the release of political prisoners in Iran, and safe passage out of the UK. The group claimed affiliation with a radical Arab organization, opposing the rule of Ayatollah Khomeini. The world was watching, and so was the British government. At first, the situation was treated as a police matter. Scotland Yard took the lead in negotiations, but lurking in the background, waiting, watching, preparing, the SAS. As soon as the siege began, B Squadron of the SAS was activated. This squadron was on 30-minute standby, a rotation every SAS squadron takes when it's their turn to be the UK's shield against terror. These were not ordinary soldiers. This was a unit forged in World War II, hardened through years of covert operations, and now called upon to conduct one of the most high-stakes hostage rescues in British history. From the outset, the SAS began gathering intelligence. They studied the layout of the embassy, installed surveillance equipment, and prepared a range of breach options. All of it was done in secret, until it couldn't be anymore. For 6 days, tension gripped the UK. While negotiations dragged on, the terrorists began to crack under pressure. The SAS, meanwhile, rehearsed every possible scenario. They built mock-ups of the embassy, practiced room-clearing drills, tested explosives, and planned their angles of attack down to the second. The hostages were located, second floor, entry points, 4 of them. The front balcony windows, the second floor rear windows, the rooftop skylight, and the ground floor rear door. A synchronized multi-angle assault would be the only way to overwhelm the terrorists and minimize hostage casualties. But until they got the green light, it was a waiting game. And then, everything changed. On day 6, the terrorists executed a hostage, Abbas Lavasani, a press officer. His body was thrown onto the pavement outside the embassy in a chilling message.
They threatened to kill another hostage every half hour. It ended with 3 gunmen dead, 1 in hospital and another in police custody.
That was it. This was no longer a police operation. At precisely 7:23 p.m. on May 5th, 1980, the SAS launched Operation Nimrod. The order: storm the embassy, neutralize the threat, rescue the hostages. Dressed in black, faces obscured by balaclavas, MP5s, and high powers in hand, the operators moved into position. Red team took the front balconies. Blue team rappelled down the rear wall. Others prepared breaching charges for the roof and the back door. But no plan survives contact with the enemy. As blue team descended, one operator's rope snagged. Another accidentally shattered a window, tipping off the terrorists. The element of surprise was gone, but the mission was still on. Flashbangs erupted, windows exploded, CS gas filled the rooms. In just seconds, chaos overtook the embassy. Inside, terrorists opened fire on the hostages, killing 1 and injuring 2 more. But the SAS were faster. They swept room by room, doors blown off their hinges, bullets precisely placed. One terrorist, disguised as a hostage, attempted to pull a grenade, only for a real hostage to give him away. the imposter was instantly neutralized. On the front balcony, breachers planted charges and leapt back just in time to avoid the blast. The team poured into the embassy's first floor. Up top, another team dropped through the skylight, finding the upper floors empty but clearing them anyway. Meanwhile, the rear team stormed in from the ground level, the entire operation over in 17 minutes. In total, 5 terrorists were killed. 1 survived, captured alive. Of the 26 hostages, 24 made it out. 1 hostage was executed before the assault. 2 were wounded during the chaos. And of the SAS, just 1 minor injury, a burn from a flashbang. Operation Nimrod was an undeniable success. But what made it extraordinary was what came next. The world had watched, live. For the first time in history, a covert special forces operation unfolded on television screens across the globe. Hooded men in black, rappelling into a building, precision gunfire echoing through London. This wasn't fiction. This was the SAS. Until this point, the SAS was little more than a rumor to the public, whispers of elite desert warfare, covert jungle missions, a mythical unit shrouded in secrecy. That veil was now gone. The operation catapulted the SAS into global recognition. Countries began lining up, asking for training, advice, partnerships. Elite units like America's Delta Force and SEAL Team 6, already inspired by the SAS, now studied Operation Nimrod as a masterclass in hostage rescue. And at home, young British men were captivated. Recruitment surged. Everyone wanted to wear the winged dagger. Everyone wanted to be part of the regiment that had stunned the world. More than just a military victory, Operation Nimrod rewrote the playbook on how governments handle terrorism. It signaled the dawn of the direct action era, the idea that sometimes force wasn't the last resort. It was the only resort. In the years that followed, the SAS would go on to serve in operations from the Falklands to the Gulf War, from Northern Ireland to Iraq and Afghanistan. But Nimrod remained the standard, the benchmark, the moment they went from shadow soldiers to international legends. And yes, the gear changed too. Lessons learned from the embassy raid influenced the adoption of new weapons, communications, breaching tactics, and protective equipment, not only for the SAS, but for special forces units worldwide. Even Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher was impressed. She met with the SAS team shortly after the operation. Her praise wasn't just ceremonial, it was political. The success gave her government a surge of credibility in a time of rising unrest. And for the public, it was reassurance. The message was clear. Britain has a line of defense that isn't just symbolic. It's lethal, it's ready, and it will act without hesitation. But as always, the operation also left lingering questions. What if the live broadcast had gone wrong? What if the terrorists had killed more hostages during the assault? What if one of the operators had been fatally injured? These are risks that come with the job. The SAS doesn't guarantee perfection, but it does guarantee precision, readiness, and resolve. Operation Nimrod was more than a tactical win. It was a turning point in how the West fought terrorism, a warning shot to those who believed that democratic nations couldn't hit back with deadly efficiency. And to this day, the legacy lives on, in training manuals, in movies, in every hostage rescue exercise around the world. Because in 17 minutes, the SAS didn't just rescue 24 hostages, they changed the world. So, what do you think of Operation Nimrod? Did it set the gold standard for modern special forces? Or did the SAS simply prove what they always were? One of the deadliest units in the world. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more elite operations broken down like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And hey, next time someone says, "Who were the SAS?" just say, "The guys who ended a siege in 17 minutes live on TV." That's it for today, folks. Remember to like and subscribe.